Hello everyone, and this is Professor Harper, and welcome to another lecture for Journalism Research Online. I'd like to go through an overview of websites that you can use to get a lot of information relatively quickly about crime on one hand and then courts on the other. The Society for Professional Journalists and Poynter Institute presents something which is called the Journalist Toolbox. And there are a lot of things that are covered there, but one of the things that's particularly good is its toolbox when it comes to covering crime. So you can find it at journalisttoolbox.org, and then you can go to crime. It has databases and statistics. It has a variety of miscellaneous crime sites that actually deal with such things as how you cover sports and crime. There are crime directories, a variety of crime news that's going on, and there are also crime associations and organizations such as the Anti-Defamation League, which handles anti-Semitic issues, the Innocence Project, which helps people who've been convicted get out of jail. So the journalisttoolbox.org is a very, very good research tool. When it comes to crime statistics, there are two things that are really key when it comes to data on a national level and various trends. The one is the Bureau of Justice Statistics, which is part of the Department of Justice. And you can see here that it has a variety of publications. It has data collections which you can view by topic. Just running through some of these reports, there are reports on prisons. There are indicators of school crime and safety, police vehicle pursuits, capital punishment, a whole lot of good data that you can go to quickly and find out information to use in any stories that may be trends. When it comes to the other, I'll put this a little bit later, when it comes to another key database, it's from the FBI. It's called the Uniform Crime Research Database, and or UCR. And what this is that it provides a wide range of reports from throughout the country that have been done over time for a number of years. It's called a longitudinal study, so that you can see the different types of crimes and what has happened. So Crime in the United States is an annual publication that's gone back for 8 decades. And so it lags behind just a little bit by maybe a year and a half, but it can give you basic data on what the trends are for various population groups by region. And this one is probably the most important one. It's the offenses reported to law enforcement by state and by cities throughout the country. You can download it into Excel and do a great comparison between Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, or even Pennsylvania and California. Here's just kind of a fun site. This is called the FBI Vault. It's at vault.fbi.gov, and it provides information about all kinds of historical crimes and some things like the investigation into John Lennon's marijuana convictions, organized crime, that type of thing. It's just it's kind of a fun read. Now, when we come to statistics related to crime in Philadelphia, www.phillypolice.com has gotten much better in terms of providing information about crime in Philadelphia. It used to be not great, but now it's quite good. And you can actually look at a crime map and create your own map to determine what types of crimes have happened over time. Also, what's particularly good is that you can find immediately where the districts and units are located and how to contact them and who's in charge by going to the districts and unit page. Now, when it comes to various court systems, you basically have it broken down into federal courts, and we're in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. And the U.S. District Court here, we're in the 3rd District. And you can easily get information about cases that are going on. You have to pay for them under a program that's called PACER, but it's a lot better than going down to the courthouse and photocopying all of them. The state courts are what are called the common courts of the Court of Common Pleas in Pennsylvania. And this is where a lot of the action happens, because most legal cases are handled at the state and local level. So murder, rape, armed robbery, that type of thing, and divorces on the civil side. So that this is essentially the first place that you'll look for many of the common crimes that happen, and also civil litigation. When it comes to other resources, the Pennsylvania government doesn't have a wonderful site when it comes to finding things, but this is the Crime Commission of Pennsylvania, which used to study the mafia, and now it has a variety of information about juvenile justice, victim services, research and child advocacy. It's not a terrific site, but it does provide some information on a state level. Now, one thing that's important is to have access to a quick source for legal data. And there are several. The Cornell site here is a particularly good one, because many journalists don't really understand the terminology used in the law. So, for example, many people get larceny, robbery, and burglary mixed up. Okay, so that if you go there, you'll find out that larceny is a crime like pickpocketing or shoplifting. Okay, burglary is entry into a house and generally does not involve a weapon or threats of any kind. And burglary actually means that there is a threat of force involved. Now, this is why some cops really don't have much respect for journalists, because we don't know the difference between these terms, and we tend to be a little loosey-goosey about what happens with crimes. So that, if you don't understand these words, you can go to the legal encyclopedia, and it has it broken down in various stages. Also, you can also find laws and find cases fairly quickly. The Supreme Court and also the U.S. Code, which are all the laws of the United States. And you can also find lawyers. If you want to have a source for someone to talk to about the law, you can find a lawyer under the lawyer directory. So these are, quick, easy, but really good research websites for crime and the courts. So thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you online. Bye now.